Guys, this is a history podcast.
True. Serious.
Let's talk presidents. In fact, let's talk all of them in order.
Yep.
Let's start with Washington, dude. What do you guys know about him? What do you say?
I mean, Washington is
Never
like
lied.
a transitionary guy because he was so British. He was a British general. He wasn't like he wasn't born in the he didn't create America. It wasn't even his idea.
Yeah.
He was just a tool of. He was the first general president.
No, he was born in the U.S.
No, I know, but he wasn't like he was a Brit. He fought
in the French and Indian War as a British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a lord.
He
Wasn't
actually kind of sucked in that.
In that war,
In fact, also kind of
everybody sucked in the wars. Though.
everything he did was
It
retreating.
was luck to win anything. Then
Yeah. He was good at retreating. That was like his number one
it's an
thing.
important thing to be
which
good
is
at.
very good in war. They don't
Otherwise,
teach
you
that.
lose once. He would fight again because he retreated so well.
Yeah.
There's some famous moment where he was speaking to the Congress and they were trying to get him to king himself. And he was apparently really vain about that he wore glasses, so no one ever saw him with glasses on. And so the moment that's supposed to be this shocking moment was that he took out his glasses and put them on and he said, like, I fear I didn't see you for what you are. That was supposed to be this big moment. But, again, none of these people knew the future. He didn't know that he was giving away the keys to later nuclear war America.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
He thought we were a dumb fucking like what? One thing interesting about Jefferson is because he's so famous for having had a slave and having had like 50,000 slaves,
Yeah.
or whatever, that not that many, and having had children with his slave, and I don't think he ever even gave her
didn't free
freedom.
them.
Didn't free.
He didn't free the kids.
He didn't free a
Didn't free the
couple. I think he
kids,
freed a
didn't
couple
free
of
her.
them.
Freed two.
Yeah.
And the rest he kept enslaved until he died. And what was interesting about them
Damn, he did the ultimate because I said so.
is so, like, Dad, can I stop being a slave? He's like, no. I said no. They said his lady was the first lady, Dolly Madison, that was like really like they would have parties at the White House. They would like
He was like a worker. He kept shit going, and he would write Jefferson and say in France and go, "Can you fucking come home and be president?" And Jefferson would write back and go, "I am just enjoying Paris, and I don't want to do it."
that's
And then he would
frustrating.
float in and just take the fucking big job. And yeah, Madison gets 4 years, and people are like, "Dude, you're boring."
So Madison takes some of the flack because everybody was calling Jefferson a for not fighting England. So he's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it.
What?
So America just declares war on England.
He nerd raged.
He nerd raged on England. England immediately marches down and burns Washington, D.C.
Burns it down.
They burnt the White House immediately.
He spaz cried.
But he spaz cries. He's like, nobody's going to call me gay. But then everybody always acts like we lost 1812 just because they burned that shitty White House.
Yeah.
War of 1812, we fucked Florida up. Monroe got Florida from the Spanish.
Nice.
So the reason that happened, though, was because of Jackson. Because Jackson was taking his troops to Florida, and Monroe was sending a guy on a horse, or I don't know if they had telegrams yet, but it'd take them 8 days to say, leave Florida alone. We're trying to negotiate a price. But finally, Monroe decided, we don't want Florida anymore. They're asking the Spanish owned it. We can't afford to buy it. I can't justify it. I'm not going to get it through Congress. And Jackson was writing back and saying, I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take it militarily. I'm going to attack them. And Monroe said, no, you may not. I'm the president. You may not do that. And Jackson just ignored him.
Started attacking
And he
him.
did it.
What?
He took Florida, and then he showed up in D.C. and was like, right? That was good, right? And Monroe's like, yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, he's like, but also I bought it.
Good job. Yeah, also, I think
He
we
paid for it.
We paid for it, and it was a mess.
While Jackson was like fucking with them, the Spanish were like to Monroe. They were like, yeah, you can buy it.
He just went and killed him.
He was down fighting them, and he was like,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna
But
sell it.
there's two generals that did that. Him and MacArthur did that too. Just did shit without permission.
Yeah.
And then showed up and said, right, Mr. President, wasn't that the plan
That was
all
pretty
along? And he
good.
goes, like, yes, it was the plan all along. Whatever you want. Whatever.
Wow.
Yes,
So you got that-
Jackson was a crazy but shrewd. A great thing about Jackson was that his inaugural party in the White House,
Yeah.
This is wild.
they
stormed the Capitol.
he invited everybody. That's exactly right.
They
He
stormed
invited everyone. He said, anyone that wants can come. No invitation needed. It's the people's house. and
My
the house
God.
was crammed with common people getting drunk,
Just got
stealing shit.
shit-faced, destroyed
And
the
they
whole
wouldn't
place.
leave. And there's a honor code in the White House. You don't ask someone to leave. You don't ever throw anybody out. So they couldn't get them. Like days went by where people are shitting on the floor and raiding the fucking pantry and so what they did was they got huge kegs of beer and they put them on the lawn. And they
Nice.
said, "Hey, come out. Let's drink under the stars. Let's have, And they invited them out for beer on the lawn, and they all came outside and they locked the doors. That was how he was a people's president.
Yeah,
Like
he was
there
the
was
first
some
populist.
in his
First
yes,
guy. Yeah.
first one to appeal to the common person.
One of the big things with Jackson, he vetoed more bills than every president before him combined.
Nice.
He hated the banks. He like went to war.
It's crazy that he's on the 20.
Yeah.
It's like a joke because he hated the idea of a central bank. He hated the idea of a treasury. He thought that it should just be folks have their money, use gold, and you trade. And he wanted.
So I think the U.S. bank at the time, I think it was called the United States, like the Bank of the United States, was up for to be renewed.
Mm-hmm.
And he just happened to be the president, and he vetoed it.
Yeah, and it was a thing you don't veto. It
You
wasn't
can't
like-
veto it.
No, but
He
did it.
vetoed it. So then the next guy, we'll get to him, is his vice president, Van Buren. He takes over. He takes over a completely destroyed economy because he vetoed the bank.
That's the way it goes.
yeah,
The
yeah.
cool guys.
Yeah.
America is made of cowboys and nerds. So you got cowboys who show off and who show what kind of people we are, and then you have nerds who actually get things done. But the cowboys get the credits.
Yeah.
And then nerds get fucked every time.
He got fucked. His nickname was Van Ruin. Here comes Harrison. He's the next guy. Everybody called him Old Granny because he was too much of a geezer to run. So on his inauguration, he was like, I'm going to prove to everyone how tough I am.
Yeah.
It was freezing cold and raining. He had like an 8,000 word inauguration.
Yeah.
He got a pneumonia and died.
He died. He was like a few months.
He died immediately. Like,
Shortest term. Died.
Damn.
shortest term.
Didn't have a minute of acting as
Trying to
president.
prove he was tough.
Got sick the first day
Died immediately.
and died a few months later.
What?
Yep.
Polk, dude. Turns out Polk's the man.
Really?
Yeah.
I know nothing about Pope.
No.
He was one term because he was a dark horse out of nowhere, and he promised everybody in his party, I'll only do one term. That way, some of you guys that are good, that are getting ready, you can take over. Immediately, he starts fucking with the British about Oregon. So they have the Oregon Territory
Yeah.
out there, which is just beaver hunting. Everybody's, beaver hunting. We're doing a little bit of
What do
that
you
in
mean?
Nash Vegas. The British and Americans were both hunting on the same territory, and Polk was like, nah, we're done with that. And he set the latitude and longitude was 54 and 40. So he came out with the slogan 54 and 40 or fight. He was saying that to the British. He was like, we're going to
very
fuck
catchy.
you guys up.
True.
So he came out with that, and the British,
People were really into
They loved
latitudes
slogans.
and longitudes.
They were.
back then.
so he called that, and the British were afraid to call his bluff. They were just like, fine, take
They're
it.
like, "Dude."
So he takes that territory, which is huge. And then it's not just Oregon, it's Washington, all that.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, it's time for me to get Texas.
Mhm.
He starts fucking with the Mexicans. Like, so they would send troops down just to see if the Mexicans would shoot first. Finally, they did. So they go to war. 70,000 troops poured in.
Oh, no.
So we immediately took California, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Texas. So one thing that was cool was when Polk was instigating this war with Mexico, immediately, this is pretty sick. So Polk was up there like, they're fucking with us. They shot at our troops. An old one-term senator from Illinois at the time stood up and said, were we on their territory when we shot him? There was one guy that was opposed to the Mexican-American War, a guy by the name of Abraham Lincoln.
Really?
Abraham Lincoln.
People were like, hey, shut up.
Yeah, dude.
We're trying to take Texas. Shut
yeah.
the fuck
He's
up.
like, you guys, were we? I'm like, shh.
Yeah,
He was like, sorry.
I think this was wrong. They're like, anyway, that's why Polk's kind of the man. He added 1/3 of the entire United States in a 4-year term.
Damn.
Pretty good.
He was so exhausted when he got done. He went back to Tennessee and just died.
Like right away, right?
Yeah.
He died, yeah.
Damn.
He was like, that was too much. I
That
should
was
have done
a
all
lot
that.
of work. And then
Fillmore
Fillmore was just a schlub.
Fillmore was a schlub. He signed. This is where it all starts to fuck up. Every single one of these guys, up to Lincoln, is just fucking up immensely. He wanted to
passing
sign.
the buck and passing the buck.
So Taylor was offered to sign the Compromise of 1850, which was some shit about one slave state, one regular, or they get to decide, shit like that. as soon as fucking Taylor died, Fillmore takes over and signs it. Southerners were mad that California would join as a free state. Northerners were mad about the fugitive slave law. So they both compromised and were both pissed. Fugitive slave law was if you find a slave in the North, there's U.S. Marshals that'll catch them and bring them back to the South.
You have to help them get them back.
And
really?
there were dudes that were just like grabbing black people. Be like, got him. Where's my bounty?